Now, after John the Baptist was beheaded, he went back up by himself. God gave another similar, last similar, other words, it had to change. It came down, Jesus rode the ass coat, and a coat, the foal of an ass, was trailing him as he went into Jerusalem. So what he did was, he let you know that he yet had an attachment onto him because God gave us this symbol that he was not yet contaminated. Because what had to happen was, Magritte, before Jesus was born, had went into the kingdom and tried to contaminate that seed, and God was showing the world that he was still attached to God, hadn't sent that black prophet all the way through, and he was not contaminated by the prophecy that what Alexander the Great did. That's when he gave you this. So when Jesus went to the cross, I was yet attached to him when he went to the cross, and that's when God had placed two crosses there with two thieves hanging beside of Jesus, letting you know two of the peoples that became the symbol attached onto Jesus was not worthy to bear the burden of a sacrifice because he was flush, and the flush was without fault, was not without fault. So that's why he gave you the symbol of two thieves, because these two was not worthy to bear the burden of the sacrifice because they was sin. But he let us know that John the Baptist, as the wings was covering the face and the wing was covering the feet, these two was not worthy to bear the burden of the sacrifice of the world. But God made them a part of the exact same sacrifice as Jesus was, to be a witness and be the better agony of Jesus Christ as he went through this transformation by the sin, connecting the Gentiles and the Hebrews and the Canaanites, all three sons of Noah, into the same body called the nations of the Hebrews. Now, once these two symbols came to pass, once Jesus was slain, I was yet entombed in his body. I was going to be the comforter which God had promised. The turtle dove in the symbol which was not separated, then you know, here were they was connected to the cross. They yet connected to the cross after they had went to the cross. Jesus had went to the cross. Once Jesus was slain and it came down to the last final part, as you go to St. Luke 24, 1-8, you see, once they went to the tomb to find Jesus in St. Luke, that's where you find it at. Holy Bible 1-8, it tells you they saw two men in shining clothes standing there. That give you the two doves, the doves that was two were not separated. That let you know two went up. So when Jesus went up, I gave you this format as they went up, because it was not my time to be born yet, but I had to be made part of the sacrifice within a format of 3 years after the first man was going to be slain, which was John the Baptist. Once Jesus went up, he remained up there with his Father in heaven, but I had to come back down to be born. I had to come back down in Revelation chapter 6. The white horse, the red horse, the black horse. I was the black horse that would come back down and be born. And how I know that I was in that man, if you go back to Isaiah chapter 6, 1-13. 6, 1-3 was me when I came down to be born and I had to be slain. But 4-13 was the second part of that Bible prophecy fulfilling itself. I was a man of unclean lips, dwelling among peoples who had unclean lips, and I saw God because of my transgression, and because I told a man a minister, when I get ready for God, he would be the first to know. Because of that transgression, God had pulled my hedges out around me, started tearing my hedges out around me. At that time, My life went into a tailspin. I became addicted to cocaine, caused me to be a person of unclean lips, and I dwell among a people who had unclean lips. But after they sit and try to frame me and to try to take my freedom and put me in there, I was now near 50 years old and had a career in ministry, and said what they were going to try to do to me, try to frame me. I spoke to God, prayed to God, sent up prayer, and I was caught up in the midst of the air. God told me, I seen God sitting in the center of the sun, and he was from far upward, far down, and his throne, which he said was fire, and I seen a crystal like glass all around the throne, made like pyramids that burned like fire, and the fire that circled the throne. I saw the glory of God as it was spoken of in Isaiah chapter 6, 4-7. But I was a man of unclean lips. I was on drugs and everything. But I seen this going to try to frame me because I seen too much. So what happened was, in 1997, they see they couldn't trap me, and they firebombed my house between the doorposts right here where I got the house. Threw the firebomb between the doorposts and caused it to burn, trying to burn me up in the house. And as I stood up, the house was filled with smoke. You'll find that in Isaiah chapter 6, 1-13, the complete prophecy. It comes this part here, letting you know exactly what happened to me. So this tied me all the way back to this part here, and made me the black horse in Bible prophecy. So this part, when God gave me this part as reference, when he revealed the space shell orbiter, where the space shell orbiter would be built, which was in Ezekiel chapter 1 in perfect fashion, and Ezekiel chapter 9 was calling them to Armageddon when he knocked down the Trade Center building. Ezekiel chapter 10 was also the space shell he blew up over Texas the year of 2003. And in Revelation, after Jesus had gone to his Father in heaven and spoke back in Revelation chapter 4, Jesus spoke concerning of the space shell then. It is symbolized by three symbols: the man, the lion, and the eagle. All of this. This is where this Bible prophecy ends at. And now, done so, we come to this part here. The next part I will come to you and I will discuss with you. I will go to Daniel chapter 7. So this is the part I gave you. So what you go to, you read Mike Raby. It will tell you that Mike Raby, at the chart that I had, that Alexander the Great came down in his mighty army and they slaughtered all of these peoples in this region here, spoken of in Isaiah chapter 8. Let me see if I can read a part of this here, if I can, here in Isaiah chapter 8. If I can't, then I'll just show you something what he said here. Verse 5. The Lord spake unto me again. No, this is the wrong one. Verse 3 in Isaiah chapter 7. It said, Then said the Lord unto Isaiah, Go forth, and now meet Ahazah, thou and Shebazah, and thy son, at the end of the conduit of the pulley, of the upper pool, and the highway of the fuller pier, and say unto him, Take heed, and be quiet, fear not, neither be faint-headed. For the twin tails of the smoking firebrand, for the fierce anger of reason with severity, and of the sons of Remlah, because Syria, and the sons of Remlah have taken evil counsel. But here that he told them that the son was going to be born, but Alexander the Great, in the same sentence, he told them that Alexander the Great was going to come and make a great slaughter because